Having begun with grace, do not go back to live under the law. Do not return to a yoke of slavery. In Galatians 5, Paul uses very strong language about the danger of reverting to the law. He says in verse 1, "Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." The yoke of slavery he refers to is the slavery of trying to earn God's favor through law keeping. For the Galatians, this specifically meant things like circumcision and observing the Mosaic law as a prerequisite for righteousness. And Paul warns that if they choose that path, they are essentially saying Christ's sacrifice wasn't sufficient. In verse 2 he says, "If you let yourselves be circumcised, Christ will be of no value to you at all." Continuing in verse 4, he says, "You who are trying to be justified by the law have been alienated from Christ. You have fallen away from grace." Those are shocking words. Fallen away from grace. All because they were tempted to trust religious law instead of Christ alone. This is like a prisoner who has been set free, but then willingly walks back into jail and locks himself up again. Imagine someone imprisoned for years, being released by a presidential pardon. He steps out into the sunshine of freedom, but the next day he marches back to the prison, knocks on the door and asks to be let back into his cell because he feels more secure by the prison schedule. We would think that's crazy. Yet, in a spiritual sense, that is what happens when a Christian who has been freed by grace chooses to put on the straitjacket of legalism, trading their freedom for a set of strict rules, thinking that that will make them holier or more acceptable to God.